Hi there, it's me, Lottie, and today what we're going to do is take a little walk around and see what's out and about. First thing I'm noticing here next to my rhubarb that is starting to die back for the year is these here garlic chives that have come up and bloomed. The bees are absolutely loving them. I'm going to gather some a little bit later and make some garlic chive vinegar. And I mean, they are really coming up in a lot of different places. I don't remember this happening last year, but maybe it's because I didn't use them as much as I should have. But yeah, I have an abundance of garlic chives. The other thing is check out our poke. Now, I told you I have a big old bossy poke bush, right? And yes, she is. I can't even get her all in the picture here. There she is. She's amazing. So I use poke root, and I might gather some in the fall. I have not gathered from her before. I've only ordered it and used it. These beautiful berries can be used to make a dye with. I don't eat them. There are different schools of thought on eating them. I'm not going to say whether you should or should not. I'm just saying I don't at this point. And if I do, I would make a video about it. You know me. But I did have the leaves. I had poke for the first time this year, and I will say it was delicious. That's a whole nother video because there is a certain way you have to prepare it and a certain time of the year when it's young, not like it is now. Over my head. When it's about waist high, when those leaves are young and tender and can be used to make really good greens. But anyway, maybe this year we'll try making some dye or something. They're also, I think they've been called inkberry because of their their ability to make a dye. So maybe we'll do something with that. And the other thing, as you can see, is goldenrod. Now, I'm going to harvest a bunch of goldenrod today because I want to make tincture and I want to make goldenrod oil. The best time to harvest goldenrod is actually about at this stage when it's about to bloom, especially if you're going to use it for oil. So I got some that are in that stage, and then there's some, hi bumblebee, nice little honeybee, and there's some that have already bloomed. Well, these I'm going to, if I harvest these, I'm going to try to get them in the alcohol as quickly as possible, because as they're drying, they will turn to fluff. They'll go to seed on you. So the bees are having a ball out here on this goldenrod. Goldenrod honey is awesome. But see all these in here that are about to bloom? These are the ones that I'm going to harvest for making my goldenrod oil out of. Because I can dry it out a little bit and it won't go to fluff. And goldenrod oil is an excellent pain relieving rub. It is really good. I'll have to tell you the story about how I learned that the hard way when I went to Sedona and fell in a cactus. Yep, I did that. Isn't that beautiful? The combination of the goldenrod and the purple of the pokeberries. Nature, you got it going on, don't you? It's just really beautiful. Oops, I didn't mean to put my scissors in there, but as you can see, no shortage of goldenrod. Got a nice big bag full here that I'm gonna let dry out for a few days to get that initial moisture out of it so I can infuse this into oil, goldenrod oil. Also, one of the benefits of collecting your goldenrod early before it blooms is that you don't have to deal with these little guys. They're beetles. They love goldenrod. There are ways to get them out of there, rinse them off, and let your goldenrod sit out for a while so everything crawls off of it. But they love this stuff. As you can see, it's a lot of them on here. And when you get it before it blooms, they're just not on there yet. Pro tip. And another lovely that we have out here are some wild grapes that have just grown up here on this fence. And I have not worked with them before. I don't think you can eat a whole lot of the fruit. They're pretty sour, but they're not bad tasting at all. But I think they'll give you a tummy ache or gastric distress if you eat too many. I have to research that, but I do know they're a wild edible. You can definitely use the grape leaves like in the spring, when they're young and tender, for making stuffed grape leaves. These wild grapes are just so pretty. I hope I can do something with them because it looks like they're definitely ready to harvest. Maybe I could make wine. Who knows? They're just beautiful to me though, right? And here we have a rose bush that actually has some pretty good sized hips on it. Usually the wild roses have such tiny hips, although I collect them and use them a lot. But I just want to make a note that this particular one out here in the back looks like it has some pretty, they're not huge, but they're bigger than the typical wild roses. Rose hips. So we'll have to keep an eye on those and see when after the frost is when they're ready to collect. They'll be red by then. Oh, sorry, dragonfly. I was graced with her presence and then I freaked out. And this here is prickly ash. These berries are a little bit beyond, they're beyond ripe, but I think they're still okay to tincture because you don't want that seed, which you can see here. Let me find one. Those are huge seeds that are in the middle, and I understand that those are unpleasant to eat because they're very gritty. So I'm wondering if we could still collect this, take the seeds out, and make tincture out of this prickly ash. I'm also going to try to collect some leaf and some bark. So here is our little prickly pear harvest. I didn't take much. I found the source and was sure not to, deplete the source or take too much from the tree. It's like a couple of trees over there actually. And this is also known as like Szechuan pepper tree. And I tell you what, I ate one of the seeds here, not the black part, the red part, and they definitely have a zing to them. My tongue is still tingling. This is also known as toothache plant for a reason. It's really great for dental issues. I am so happy to have found this. This is going to be great. Now this plant right here is ragweed, and many people are allergic to ragweed. Many people believe they're allergic to goldenrod, but it's ragweed that is the, I won't say culprit, I'll just say it's ragweed that is the source of their allergies. Although making a ragweed tincture can help offset the effects of a ragweed allergy. Check that out. This here is raspberry leaf, And it's another thing that I do want to collect, but I'm not going to collect it today. This will quickly put you in a bad mood if you're not prepared. Because you see these thorns? She will get you. Raspberry leaf is white on the underside, like that. And green on the top. When you see the stem, or it's called a cane, when it's white like that, that lets you know it's a first-year cane. It hasn't probably fruited yet. But we can collect these leaves for tea. It's a really great hormone balancing tea and has a lot of benefits. So I'm not going to collect this today. Like I said, you need to have on sturdy gloves so that you can interact with the plant in a smart way. But we do have to get out here and get us some raspberry leaf. Decided to take a little walk down by the pond and look around a bit. As you can see here, we have cattails, and these are edible. Now, I have never eaten them yet, and that'll be a video for the future, but I'm just starting to learn how many things we have that grow that we don't even take advantage of, that we've been socialized out of thinking of as food. But yep, cattails are edible. I'm gonna have to look up, is there a cattail cookbook? Maybe there's a cattail cooking channel. I doubt it, but anyway. The water level is really low. We haven't had any rain, so you can see the water level is really low. But the turtles seem to like it. I know you probably can't see this, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 turtles just floating around in the water. Let me see. Oh, that one just ducked underwater. I don't know if I can. Share that with you. I'm gonna have to bring my other camera. But they're just chilling and floating in the water. I'm not mad. And here it looks like the autumn olives are actually starting to get ripe. They'll become a much deeper red. But I noticed that this tree in particular has a lot of berries that are on their way. This is my haven. This is my the life-saving haven. That is what this is for me. Saved my life. Really did.